It's a new year, we're talking about New Age, and how most of it isn't actually all that new. Welcome back to Faith Evolving. We're coming at you not live from my childhood bedroom. I am home for winter break from school. But like I said at the top of the video, this week we are talking about the New Age movement. So New Age generally refers to the set of beliefs that was really popularized in like the 70s and the 80s. Think hippie culture kind of thing. A fair bit of cultural appropriation, but also some good stuff too. This whole idea of mind, body, spirit, a more holistic look at your health. And now there's a lot of really interesting critiques of New Age. I watched this 2-part video by someone who's actually participates a little bit more in the community, and a lot of criticism of hypocrisy, which you'll find in any large organization or movement, especially amongst influencers, and a lot of the materialistic kind of stuff that goes on, which I think is more a criticism of the Western culture rather than the actual practices. So this video is going to break down some of those practices and how they originated not in the 70s and the 80s. They actually are deeply rich spiritual traditions from various Eastern religions. And in the grand tradition of our Western culture of hegemony, of being like, wow, that's kind of cool. We're going to do it now. And also, we made it, and it's ours. You don't have any claim to it. Only we do. It's just us. With these practices, if you do them, especially if you are a Christian who does them, it's important to understand where they come from so we don't get into this massive cultural appropriation, and we can honor our interfaith siblings and the important work that is interfaith work, which will probably be a whole nother video at some other point. But for this video, I'm going to go through 5 different New Age practices that are actually very ancient and kind of breaking down the history of them and important things to consider. And those practices will be as follows: yoga, meditation, chakras, astrology, and incense. I don't know why that implied cocaine, but you smell incense. And not incest either, because that's not what we're about to do right now. Like I said, first up, yoga. I feel like in my little college town, there are 2 yoga studios. I think one of them closed, RIP. But there are a lot of white people doing yoga. But there are a ton of studios. There are clothing brands. There are those little bracelets. Just a lot of different yoga garb. There's a lot of YouTube channels. Shout out to Yoga with Adriene. Do her nighttime yoga a lot. Soothes my soul. It helps me fall asleep. Also, my college has a yoga course. So it's infiltrated Western culture. But it's not just a thing for rich divorcees in Brooklyn to do for fun. It actually originated in ancient India, and the purpose was to connect your mind and your body together to make you more self-aware and then able to connect with the divine better. And actually, in Hinduism, yoga is a major tenet of their religious philosophy. So it's very important. And there are also a lot of Christians that practice yoga. For example, my boyfriend's mom is a certified yoga instructor. She's married to a pastor who also does yoga and has a daughter who is studying to become a pastor who dabbles in yoga. So I'm pretty sure it doesn't make you a bad Christian. But Christians aren't the only ones that do yoga, obviously, because it's a major tenet of another major religion. That being said, it's also important for Christians to remember that yoga isn't theirs. They're being invited into another religion's practices, and to honor that and be respectful and kind. So it's very irresponsible to be exclusive about yoga for that reason. Also because there are other religions where yoga is a major part of their spiritual rituals. Like in Buddhist, Jain, and Sufi traditions, yoga is also a big thing. Doesn't make you a devil worshiper. Promise. Next up is meditation, which, like yoga, is found in the Vedas, which are ancient texts from India that were very formative to the contemplative practices of Hinduism and Buddhism. And it's simply a form of prayer. It can be about your posture, the way that you're breathing. There can also be a tactile element. So if you are Catholic and you're praying the rosary, I have a rosary, look at this, and it's green, it matches. Anyway, and you're going along the beads and you're praying your Hail Marys, and then you get to your Lord's Prayer. You are being reflective in that ritual, and it's a form of meditation. So meditation is found in almost every spirituality within different religious traditions, which I think is really cool and a very uniting thing. So don't hate on meditation. Bitch. Next up is chakras. And I had to do a lot of research into this because the first introduction that I had to chakras was the episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And honestly, that part of the episode does a really good job at explaining what the chakras are, and I wish I could just play the whole clip, but the video would probably get taken down for copyright reasons, so I can't do that. But your chakras are found in your spine, and it's a big part of Tantric Buddhism, which is mainly based in Tibet, and actually what the air nomads in Avatar: The Last Airbender were based off of. And I'm going to go through them really quick, but I'm going to have to look at my notes a lot, so if you see me looking over there, that's why. So first you have your root chakra, and it's at the base of your spine. Makes sense. And it's about stability.
It deals with survival and is blocked by fear.
Next is the sacral chakra, and that's based around your belly button, and it's about sexual and creative energy.
This chakra deals with pleasure and is blocked by guilt.
Then you have your solar plexus, which is based in your stomach, and it's about your confidence and your self-esteem.
This chakra deals with willpower and is blocked by shame.
Then your heart chakra, which is near your heart, and it's about love and compassion.
It deals with love and is blocked by grief.
And then your throat chakra, which is about communication, specifically verbal communication. Once again, makes sense.
It deals with truth and is blocked by lies.
Then the third eye chakra, which is between your two eyes, and it's about instinct and intuition and imagination.
It deals with insight and is blocked by illusion.
And then last is your crown chakra, which is at the crown or the top of your head, and it's about connection with others and also connecting you to your greater purpose or higher purpose.
It deals with pure cosmic energy and is blocked by earthly attachment.
And so with chakras, if they're blocked, it can block you mentally, but also physically within your health. And I think it's just a really interesting concept. I'm obviously not a Tantric Buddhist. I have a channel about Christianity, so I'm not super familiar with chakras, but I think it's important to note that it's based in religion, astrology, the stars. So in a lot of early religions, there was a sky god, and it was usually the most powerful deity of the deities. And so it makes sense that people would turn to the sky or the stars to find meaning. And that's what astrology is. In my research, it's said that it originated in Babylon. As far as the Bible goes, there's a lot of passages warning against astrology and following the stars. But also, without astrology, the wise men would have never found Jesus.
Also, if the Babylonians were the ones that came up with astrology, and the Israelites were often at big odds with the Babylonians, it's no wonder that the Bible said, no.
So it's kind of a balance there. And lastly, we have incense. Frankincense and myrrh is incense. Like that's something you burn to smell. And a lot of high church kind of services, or like high church liturgy that you find in the Episcopal Church or the Catholic Church, or even really high Lutheran services, people burn incense. So it can kind of bring you into this like holy mindset. Also, I'm kind of putting essential oils in this kind of category as well. There's research that shows, they don't know if it's placebo effect or what, but various natural remedies like that work. I'm not discounting other forms of medicine like surgery and ibuprofen. I'm just saying like a little bit of a mix could be really kind of helpful. And so don't completely knock it, because that's all people had for a while. And it had to have worked at least a little bit. Those are the 5 practices and how they're very old and they're not new. Like was said at the beginning of this video, there are some very valid critiques of the New Age movement. But one of the big ones that bothers me a little bit is that there's allegedly this like emphasis on me. And that is true when it comes to various people who are just trying to use it to make money and just trying to sell a bunch of products. But something with like yoga and meditation, that's taking care of yourself. And if you look at one of the great commandments, it's love your neighbor as yourself. And yes, that's the golden rule of treat others the way you'd want to be treated. But just as you love your friends and you want what's best for your friends, you should also care for yourself. And doing those various practices, it's like that aphorism or saying of you have to put on your airplane mask first before you can help others. The same is true if you do your spiritual practices and your communication with the divine and are more at peace and self-aware, you are much more equipped to be the hands and feet doing the work of love and justice to all that we are called to do. That's the New Age movement. Very choppy, trying to do a lot in one video, but like, comment, and subscribe. You can comment below if you have participated in any of these practices, or if you think everything I said was stupid, it's fine too. As well as if anything I said was super wrong, or what type of things you would like to see in the future. Thanks for watching.